I step into the crowded art expo, gripping Auntie's portfolio like it's a sacred relic, each page a testament to years of unseen labor. The moment the gallery owner glances at her work, his eyes flicker with a sneer so sharp it feels like it pierces straight through me. My stomach twists, a knot of anger and helplessness forming, but I stay silent, holding the weight of every unacknowledged masterpiece. Her paintings hang there, vibrant, alive, yet the murmurs around us dismiss them before they even linger. Amateur, one voice hisses. Unremarkable, another chimes, barely pausing to glance at the canvas. I feel my chest tighten as I watch, powerless, as the people who should see genius instead see nothing at all. A cluster of young artists stands nearby, whispering behind their hands, their smirks sharp, cutting. I hear Aunty explain her techniques politely, carefully, as if words could protect her from their ridicule. Each syllable she utters is met with barely concealed mockery, and I feel my hands curl into fists at my sides. Then, the moment that shatters me, her favorite piece, the one she poured nights of aching soul into, is literally kicked aside to make room for a flashy influencer's installation. The air feels heavier, oppressive, and I can feel heat crawling up my neck, my hands trembling as I struggle to hold back the tears that want to fall for her. A gallery assistant's voice cuts through the room, casual, cruel. "Maybe she should stick to crafts," he says, loud enough for everyone to hear. The words hang in the air, a blade slicing through every ounce of dignity Aunty has carried in silence. I watch her, standing there, smiling, but it's a fragile, brittle thing, barely covering decades of quiet humiliation. The camera of my mind captures every detail, the way her hands shake as she folds her paints into her worn bag, the way her eyes dart to avoid confrontation, the way she carries herself with grace despite the weight of scorn. When we leave, the cold night presses against us, and I can't stop replaying it all, the sneers, the laughter, the dismissive glances. Every insult fuels a fire in me, a burning, relentless need that something, anything must change. And deep down, I know this is only the beginning. I remember Auntie's childhood in that small Midwest town where endless fields stretched under pale skies and her imagination bloomed far larger than anyone could see. She was endlessly creative, filling notebooks and scraps of paper with sketches no one noticed. The world around her whispered constantly that her art was trivial, that practicality mattered more than passion, that she should give up these foolish dreams that would never pay the bills. Her first heartbreak cut deep and silent. The gallery she devoted years to, the place she poured every ounce of hope into, quietly took credit for her designs. One morning, she arrived to find herself replaced, dismissed without ceremony, her work rebranded as someone else's genius. I can still hear the hollow echo of that betrayal in her soft, measured voice, the way she never spoke loudly of her pain, but carried it in every careful movement. The scars of rejection settled into her demeanor. She never claimed the spotlight, never demanded acknowledgement. She moved through the world quietly, almost invisible, though her eyes held storms I would come to understand. I spent countless afternoons in her cluttered studio, sunlight falling through dusty windows onto splattered floors, listening to her voice crack with quiet frustration as she lamented what could have been. I remember the high school competitions where she should have shone, winning every accolade with skill no one could ignore. And yet, the judges, blind to her talent, refused to acknowledge her name. Every first-place ribbon, every accolade she earned, went officially to someone else, or disappeared into a bureaucratic void. Men in power never saw her genius except to exploit it. A wealthy patron once stole one of her designs for his mansion, framing it as his own, leaving her to swallow her anger, hidden behind polite smiles and gentle nods. That's how she learned to endure, to turn humiliation into quiet perseverance. She carried the weight of every slight, every dismissal, folding them into herself without letting bitterness escape her lips. The emotional burden of decades of invisible labor is heavy. Art donated to charities, commissioned works credited to others, creations that should have defined her career buried in anonymity. And through it all, she trusted me. She confided her dreams to me when no one else would listen, when the world consistently ignored her worth. That bond, forged in silence and quiet struggle, became the cornerstone of the fire that would one day demand justice. I tried again and again to showcase Auntie's work at every local gallery I could find. Each rejection felt like a fresh wound, sharper than the last, a reminder that the world refused to see her worth. The polite refusals, the maybe next time smiles, the casual dismissals, they all piled up, crushing hope beneath their weight. Social media offered no refuge. Every post, every careful video was met with ridicule. Influencers laughed at her outdated style, their mockery echoing in comment threads where strangers felt emboldened to belittle decades of dedication. I felt my stomach churn, powerless as their laughter turned her genius into a spectacle. I confronted a small-town critic during one of his live streams, demanding he see the truth, demanding he acknowledge her talent. He laughed, just laughed, dismissing my defense with a sneer so casual it left a hollow ache in my chest. Aunty, standing beside me, shrank even further into herself, refusing to attend exhibitions, fearing that every public step would break her spirit more. I saw the creeping despair in her eyes, subtle but unmistakable. It burned through me, a desperate, urgent need to act before the world extinguished her entirely. We brainstormed tirelessly, imagining unconventional ways to grab attention, pop-up street galleries, viral campaigns, anything that could pierce the veil of ignorance. But every door we tried remained firmly closed, every avenue blocked by the same indifferent walls. Then the whispers started. A cruel rival artist began spreading false rumors, claiming Aunty had plagiarized their work. The lies slithered through the community, and our reputation felt fragile under their weight, teetering on the edge of collapse. I refused to let it slide. Secretly, I gathered every piece of evidence I could find. Sketches, dated journals, photographs capturing every stage of her creative process. Each fragment a testament to her originality, each proof a weapon against the injustice stacked against her. And yet, every small victory we clawed back was met with resistance. Every attempt at recognition was crushed by systemic dismissiveness, by the same hands that had ignored her genius for decades. The fight was relentless, the humiliation unending, but I knew deep inside that we were building toward a reckoning the world would never see coming. Then one evening, a mysterious email lands in my inbox, its subject line simple yet electrifying, a praise of Auntie's talent and a request for a meeting. I hesitate before opening it, wary from years of dashed hopes, yet something in the words sparks a flicker of hope, fragile but undeniable. The day of the meeting, we walk into a world unlike any gallery or studio we've known. The sender is revealed, Ethan Caldwell, a billionaire entrepreneur renowned for discovering untapped talent before the world even knows it exists. His presence radiates quiet authority, the kind that bends opportunity toward those he believes in. Ethan's office is cinematic in its perfection. Floor-to-ceiling windows pour sunlight across polished floors, minimalist elegance framing a sense of calm, unshakable power. Every detail speaks of influence. Every shadow seems to watch with deliberate intent. I watch Auntie's eyes widen, pupils dilating with disbelief and tentative awe, as Ethan moves slowly around her work, appreciating each brushstroke, each nuance, as if seeing the soul embedded in the paint. He pauses at a piece she once considered insignificant, lifting it with reverence and calling it revolutionary. Her lips part slightly, a breath caught between disbelief and elation. Then he speaks, calmly, with precision. He is launching a foundation for underrepresented artists, a platform to amplify talent that history has ignored, and he wants Aunty as a founding partner. The weight of the words settles in the room like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. In that moment, the shift is palpable. The man with the power to make or break careers stands captivated by her genius. I see the hesitation flicker across Auntie's face, the disbelief that she could, after decades of rejection and invisibility, finally be recognized for the brilliance that has always been hers. And in that instant, I understand the truth. The dynamics of humiliation, of dismissal, of those who once laughed at her, none of it can touch her anymore. She is no longer a victim of their oversight. She is untouchable, validated, and poised to reclaim the world she was always meant to command. I orchestrate the gallery reveal with meticulous care, every detail designed to showcase Auntie's brilliance. Ethan's foundation backs the event, and media coverage ensures the world will watch. The room hums with anticipation, but for those who wronged her, the air carries a false sense of confidence. The former critic and rival artists arrive, smirks in place, expecting to mock and belittle once and again. Instead, they are blindsided. The room is packed with admirers, journalists, collectors, people who see her genius clearly for the first time in decades. The laughter they anticipated is replaced by murmurs of awe and respect. Aunty steps into the spotlight, calm, radiant, carrying the weight of years of dismissal with grace. Her work, once ignored, once laughed at, commands attention, each painting a declaration of unrecognized genius. Screens behind her light up, displaying side-by-side comparisons, stolen designs and her original sketches exposing the thefts that haunted her silently for years. Ethan's endorsement hangs over the room like an unassailable shield. No local critic, no whispering rival can challenge the authority and validation he brings. I watch as the smug faces of those who humiliated her crumble, their lives unraveling under the light of undeniable truth. Social media ignites. Hashtags praising her talent trend globally. Viral clips capture her poise, her quiet strength, her triumph, and the world watches, enthralled by the story of someone finally claiming what was always hers. Legal steps follow swiftly. Contracts signed, copyrights established, rightful claims enforced, ensuring that her work can never be stolen or dismissed again. Finally, Aunty confronts the rival artist face to face. Her words are measured, precise, devastating. Each syllable delivers the weight of years of injustice, piercing the arrogance that once dared to belittle her. And I feel it. Sweet, intoxicating justice. The years of dismissal, ridicule, and invisibility transform into recognition, respect, and power in her hands. She is no longer overlooked. She is seen, celebrated, and untouchable. Aunty opens her own gallery in collaboration with Ethan, a space where classical technique meets modern business strategy. Every corner reflects her vision, every brushstroke a testament to decades of unseen talent finally recognized. I document the transformation with careful eyes, the empty local exhibits replaced by full house openings, crowds lingering on every piece, and Auntie's smile effortless, genuine, free from the weight of past humiliation. The town that once mocked her now offers subtle respect, nods of acknowledgement, quiet apologies woven into everyday interactions. Rival artists fade from relevance, their attempts at domination eclipsed as her work comes to dominate exhibitions, online markets, and collector circles alike. We take moments to reflect on the emotional toll, the years of doubt, the silent endurance, the strength required to bear constant dismissal without losing her soul. I notice a new confidence in her. She mentors young artists, ensuring no one else suffers the invisibility she once endured. Media interviews capture her story, transforming past humiliation into an inspiring narrative of resilience and genius. Ethan remains a steady supporter, but the credit belongs entirely to Aunty, her perseverance, her talent, her unyielding spirit. We celebrate small victories, signed contracts, sold pieces, letters from grateful admirers who finally see what the world once ignored. And as night falls, the city skyline reflects our shared triumph, her laughter echoing through the studio we finally call ours, a sanctuary of victory, recognition, and reclaimed dignity. I face the camera, dim light spilling across the studio walls, Auntie's paintings glowing behind me like silent witnesses to decades of unseen struggle. I recount the journey, voice low and deliberate, decades of silence, of underestimation, of invisible labor finally recognized, each brushstroke a story of patience, endurance, and unacknowledged brilliance. The lesson is clear. Talent ignored is not talent lost. Patience, courage, and strategic opportunity can transform lives, reshape destinies, and turn humiliation into triumph. Viewers see it all, before and after montages of her small, dismissed works, contrasted with packed gallery openings, flashing cameras, and media frenzy, the world finally witnessing what should have been celebrated years ago. I share her mantra, words heavy with wisdom: never dim your light for those who can't see it. The phrase hangs in the air, a shield against doubt, a call to honor one's own worth. The emotional punch lands. Those who mocked her, who belittled and dismissed, are now powerless, irrelevant against the undeniable truth of her talent. I emphasize the human side of revenge. It is not cruelty, but justice. Not malice, but validation. Not anger, but the reclamation of dignity long denied. And to you watching, I offer this call to action. Recognize and support overlooked talent in your own communities. Stand for the unseen, amplify the voices that history has ignored. The camera slowly pans over Auntie's most celebrated piece, sunlight catching the colors in a golden shimmer, a symbol of hope, triumph, and enduring brilliance. Fade out with my voice, soft but steady. Some victories are quiet, but the world eventually hears them.